giant bugs aren't bugs at all. They're Decepticons, like us. And their idento-computers adapted them for life on Earth by turning them into Insecticons.
Welcome back to the Tidarium Hangar. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about the FansToys Forager FT-14. This is the reissue for 2021, and yes, I do see that his faceplate is wrong. I'm going to show you that. That's how FansToys ships it to you, and this figure is the most sought after of the 3 figures that are being reissued from FansToys for the bugs, simply because it was the last one produced and the one that everyone still seems to need to get to complete their set. But anyway, we're going to talk about this figure and some more coming up. I did get this at Show Z. You might be able to get yours there too. I'll still leave a link down below. Let's get into it. Alright, so here is the box, and the packaging looks a lot like I remember my last one looking like, and so pretty much all the way around. Got the bug there, says Forager, and you've got some writing. So all this writing on the back, all I care about is what it says down here. Now, I don't know, can somebody explain to me in the comments below how come this is the first FansToys reissue I've gotten in years that actually has the current year's date on it? Alright, so looking at this guy, the first thing I want to do is talk about the few accessories that come with it. Not very many, but it does come with a clear chest, which is great. But I believe you have to unscrew it to change it out. And I do kind of like that one. Well, actually, I like the clear the most, but I do like the one they did with that. You got some Energon cubes here. So, something cool that they include. I like that. Having a look at this guy, a couple things right out the box. I do think there is a much better way to do this, these on the back. So you have to partially transform it to change this around. So when we get to transforming it, we're going to change it around. But I'm going to leave it like this because, well, that's how they ship it to you. And I don't know why they ship it to you like that, because I think you can tuck it in and make it a lot neater. They also ship it to you with this face plate on. So what you got to do is, see if I can get it. You have to open this up from the back of the head and lift this up. Well, you don't really have to open the back of the head, but just kind of like showing that you can do that. But that's how you would put it back. And got to get this face here out. Tuck the face all the way back. So opening the head is when you're going the other direction, I guess. And you got to tuck this thing back in there so that you can put his head on. And there we go with Forager's head. Now he's got the correct face and everything. So that's going to work. So let's look at this guy with his correct face. I think he looks good. He is the best looking one of all of the companies for the Forager. But I think that Kickback is the coolest looking one out of all of them anyway. So I do like this character as the Insecticon. But I also like the fact that this thing has a lot of shine to it, a lot of sheen, and some heft and weight to it. So looking at this, we have this chrome, vac metallized chromed wing here, and you do have to open this up for the transformation, and it all circles the shoulder, which looks great. This here, I believe this to be painted, but it might just be speckled plastic, but it looks to be like it's painted. It looks nice. You got some blue paint right there, and all that's good. And then down below, there's not much paint elsewhere. You have a little bit of accents here. This is, as people like to point out, some paint down below, a very old design, and we're getting it the same. I don't think there's any changes to it from the reissue. If there were, like I don't notice anything different. It looks exactly the same as the other 2 I've had in the past. So looking pretty cool. Now these antennae, they're soft rubber and they move. So I don't know if I like that or not, because I feel like the soft rubber, I have so much vintage stuff that just gives, that it kind of bothers me. I don't know how it's going to hold up over time. And again, his gun is the last accessory, and it looks pretty much like you'd expect a Kickback gun to look. And I did notice, like we were talking about his thumb doesn't move. It's just in one place. So it's tricky to maneuver in there, but that's it. Let's look at articulation. So for articulation on this guy, the head side to side, and you can sort of look up a little bit, and then it does let you look up, but the helmet just kind of comes disconnected in a way. So, and then these things, it just seems like anytime I mess with either one of these antennae, they are unaligned. You do have articulation on these, and they can move around a bit. And you go about to there, you do have those wings that hinder some of the articulation, but you can do all the way around like that. You have your bicep swivel like usual. You have a double jointed elbow, of course, for the transformation. You do have the hand that moves side to side, static thumb. Let's get that thumb in some light. That doesn't move. And then you have, I think people like to refer this as typewriter fingers, which I don't mind, because he's really going to be standing there having a fist. Or even if you have his hand open just a little bit, you can fake it till you make it, I guess, for a pose. But it gets what I need done. Let's get it back the way it should be. And then waist, we do have articulation, but no ab crunch. This is pre-ab crunch era. And then you do all the way out right there. Now, there's no hardware in here. It's all friction based. You do have the thigh swivel. You got double jointed knee, which is great. And you do have some ankle articulation and I think a little bit of going on in that toe. But it's not the whole foot. It's just ankle and toe. So he's got some okay articulation. I mean, FansToys has always done relatively decent with articulation, even in their earlier molds. But do I need an ab crunch? Probably not really. All right, for comparison, we have the MMC version versus FansToys versus BADCUBE and the G1. So looking at all of this, you're going to see that we have articulation right here on these wings. These two do not have that. They are all vac metallized on the wings. We have the vac metallized guns on these two. The BADCUBE is just painted silver. If you look, you can see BADCUBE is a bit stockier than the other two. I think these, the MMC and the FansToys, do match the aesthetic of the character that I prefer, and I think matches the G1 a little bit better than the BADCUBE. But the BADCUBE's still not bad, by the way. And then looking at this, this guy weighs a whole lot more than either of the other ones. So looking at him, also FansToys is the tallest. So out of all of them, I do think FansToys is the best of all of these. Is it worth the price? That's just up to you. And here they all are, compared to Megatron and Starscream, and somebody to tell Takara we don't need a Megatron 3.0. So this is what dreams are made of, or nightmares, but there's all of them together. Who's looking forward to some Hasbro Deluxe versions?
Insecticons, transform, attack.
All right, for the transformation, I do understand that you will probably chip your chrome transforming this. That's pretty much what every reviewer has said that's reviewed this, and everyone's got chipped chrome, but I think every other reviewer got to have a sample sent to them, so yeah, this is the one right here. It's just hard to disconnect this piece. I think I chipped it. Okay, anyway, here we go. You got to open this piece up. Got to kind of rotate this around. Is that the right angle? Same thing on this side, rotated around. One side's tighter than the other, so I don't really know why that is. And then till you can move your arms out. There it goes. I think this thing disconnects too. Let's see if I can get a little bit more light, better lighting. Too much light, it's washed out. Not enough light, you can't see what's going on. So you've got to kind of adjust that stuff as it goes, I guess. So I'm thinking this whole thing here can come out all of the way. Get that out of the way. And then this slides out on this armature here. So you have a little sliding, see that sliding armature. Then we're going to pull all this stuff here out, which that's fun. And then it's going to rotate around, but you got to get all the legs to clear and all that good stuff. And then rotate like so. There we go. And then we're going to more or less fold the arms up into it, and it's going to slide back in. Pretty interesting and ingenious how that's done. I kind of like that. And it will clean up a lot better than we've seen with some. Now this is where you can clean up these back pieces a little bit more. Once it's out, you can kind of rotate this piece around. All these can rotate around, And I don't know why FansToys puts it out the way they did, so you could have possibly cleaned it up better, depending on how you configure that and all that stuff. So let's see, it's gonna need, but I think they actually have it ready for you to go for your bug mode. Nope. They need to be down like this for bug mode. Yeah, just like that. And we're going to push this up in here and slide it back in. And there we go. I guess we're going to leave that hanging down. All right, and the bug arms are going to go something like this. Show a little something like that. Now, moving this around, I think this is in the right position to pull this out on the armature. And if it's not, you can always adjust it. Adjust the wing a bit if it's giving you a little bit of resistance so that you can pull this bad boy out. And it's giving me more. See, this side's giving me more resistance. Something fell off of there. Well, like flaked off. I think it was styrofoam. Styrofoam. This one's giving me a lot of resistance where the other one did not. Let's see. Position like that. There we go. So you have to have that wing adjusted at the right space to take that out. And there we go with all this good stuff. And we're going to... Does it come out further than that? Get this out, and then we're going to rotate it, but we have to get the wing, the legs, and the arm to clear. A little fiddlier than I would like, but it's not a bad transformation, actually. And then we can rotate these. Okay, let's get the arm in position to get put back in. And I think it looks better with the fist like that, which I did not do on this side. Maybe I can still wiggle it around. Maybe I can still work it. Oh well. Yeah, I think I had it right the first time. I think they do have it in bug mode for you. Pre and bug mode, so you don't have to switch that one around. And then we're going to slide this whole assembly here back in and get the arm lined up to go into it just right. See how I did this other side, I guess you could say wrong or different, and then doing it this way, it looks cleaner. So I have that hand the wrong way, that one look cleaner. I will probably clean that up off of camera just to make it look a little bit better, but there we go. And then we got this thing here. Now this whole piece here clips into that. Now we got to do the legs. So I'm guessing the best way to do this is just to kind of pull this whole armature out. And then that gets this knee working to go forward. Now we can fold this toe down while we're at it. Let's fold this toe down. That is tight. Real tight. There it is. And then we have the leg out. So we have the young grasshopper leg. And then this whole piece here kind of goes forward on this armature. Like so, and we have young grasshopper, and same thing on the other side. So we're just gonna basically just pull this leg out, and that's going to free this up to move up, fold that down, and then put this leg here out, adjust everything. So now we got to just adjust everything and it's good to go. Pretty old school. Pretty simple. Flip the head around. Now, the whole thing with the getting this armature out and this piece out and tucking the head back in, you can snap this head in half, and then you've got to use something to push forward in there to push this out. Let's see if I can do it with just my finger, but you probably have to get something to push that out. But you can see with the head open, you can push that out. So you just push the existing head back in. I wanted to just leave it, but I guess I'll show you. I wanted to leave it because I display mine in bot mode. I display almost everything in bot mode, so this bug mode is only going to be for the review, and then it's never going to see it again. So do not like chipping up my chrome. Do not like chipping chrome. So here we go. Here we go. Adjust some legs, and we'll take a look at this guy. As you guys know, this is going to absolutely terrify me. But you move this, you close this, and then you can put it back into place. I can feel it right now, scraping all of the chrome off. This is nuts. You have to basically shove this thing in here. I don't like this part of the design because when you close it and then it's just, you feel it rubbing. You feel it rubbing. I don't like that part. I hate one scratch on my figure's paint or chrome. I hate it, and this feels like this whole section, I could see it just being completely just ripped up when I go back to bot mode. But anyway, it's for the greater good, I guess. But all right, let's have a look at this guy. He does look pretty good. This part didn't clamp right down. I thought this was going to clamp down a little bit harder into place. For some reason, it did not. I didn't. Maybe I got to move that a bit. But anyway, it's a good looking Grasshopper mode overall. So a lot of the things carry through from the paint apps that we saw in the bot mode to this mode here, and it does look great. I do like the Grasshopper mode. If you can see right there, there's a nice empty spot where you can plug in your gun, and it would tab into there and tab into there, and I'm not going to shove it in there, but it holds in pretty nice. If you're okay with chrome getting shaved off your gun, I'm not okay with that, so I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Anyhow, there it goes. Maybe it is better to do a review sample so you can just not worry about the chrome scraping off when you get yours. You can keep it mini fresh. Anyhow, a couple of things with this, you can reposition these arms right here and give him a higher stance, like so. And then same thing with these legs if you want, and you can give them a bit of a higher stance. So there's options for that right there. As for this, it is so tight pushing it back, and you can get the wings to the side, and so you can have quite a bit of movement, playability, changes in display. You can't quite do that so much with the other versions, so there's always that. With this back leg here, that's about all the movement you're going to get in that joint. You do get this like all the way to the 90 because you can tuck it all up and stuff. But there you go with the back leg. And we saw what we can do with the front legs and quite a bit of articulation. It looks pretty good overall. And head side to side with the antenna, you can move them, but you need to move them at the base. Anytime you feel this soft rubbery stuff, make sure you move the stuff at the base. Because if you try to move the antenna itself to move the whole thing, you might have some problems. All right, so here we have Forager and Grenadier side by side. I do think Grenadier would have been a cooler way to say it though. Anyway, side by side, that's what they look. You can make them lay flat if you want to, if that's what you want. But let's go ahead and do some comparisons with this guy and BADCUBE and MMC. No, this is not an infestation. This is a comparison. Okay, looking at them side by side, and they all look pretty good. And the fact that these are three different companies with three different takes on the same character, they all look a little bit different. They look slightly different. I do like it when they look a little bit different. There's some variation in there. And you can set up a pretty nice display like this. Let's try to get them all on the screen. They're more or less all in frame now, but you can see the differences between these and how they look. Not bad. They look pretty good. And I can flip MMC around. I think I had MMC backwards for a second to make it look like the rest of them. Okay, let's see how the other bugs look. All right, here's a group shot of all these bugs. And how does that look? It looks okay. It look good. FansToys, after handling all of these and transforming all of these, I do feel like FansToys is the most solid. Like when you get it from one state to the other, it feels like it's holding there pretty solid compared to some of the other ones. Some of the tabs slipped out a little bit easier than them. But they're all decent, and they all look good in the bug mode, in my opinion. So this has been my look at the Forager FansToys FT-14 And it's their version of Kickback. I think it's a great looking figure. I think overall he's really solid, looks good. It's an old design and a new price. Yes, it is a bit higher of a price. Is it worth it? That really depends on you, whether you think it's worth it. Is it the best one on the market? Yes. Does it look the best in both modes? Yes. It has a little bit more kibble on it than the MMC version, but overall, I like it. If you can get yours at Show Z, I hope, if it's in stock, I'll leave a link down below. Like and subscribe. Turn your hanger out.
It is done, Shrapnel! To the farm! I want food! Oh, there is no spray to prevent this! We'll spell your doom! Prepare for termination!